Hello, I'm Mantastic and Fantastic, and today is January 1st, which means it's New Year! At the same time, it's also Question Time January edition. So, for Question Time, please feel free to ask your pad and or other related questions. Doesn't even have to be pad related, and I'll do my best to answer those in a subsequent video in the future. And with that being said, let me talk about the books that I have read. So, I finished reading Olympus, which is book 2 of 2 for the Ilium/Olympus series. It is quite thick. It has got almost just shy of 900 pages. It took me 2 months to read it because I feel like December and November just lots of things were happening, so it was a little slower in reading, and at the same time I'm disappointed. Like, Dan Simmons is an author that I do enjoy. I think the Hyperion Cantos are some of the best sci-fi you're ever going to read, so if you do have the opportunity to take a read through those books, I highly recommend you do so. But Ilium Olympus kind of follows the story of Homer's Iliad, that giant epic poem of like the Greeks and Trojans, like Achilles, Helen of Troy, Hector, so on and so forth. So all these characters are now like a bizarre twist of events. Like, they've got everything. They got sentient robots, they got time travel, they got quantum teleportation, they have futuristic Earth, they have an old Earth, they have Greek heroes, they even have dinosaurs. There's like everything you can possibly imagine. And book 1, I think, did a pretty good job, like, of world building, setting up interesting characters. There is a bit of like almost like overtly sexual parts, which I didn't think was that great. Just kind of felt a little awkward how the author was just describing in great detail some of the genitalia of some people. Regardless of that, the world building was quite cool, and the first book ended off on a pretty good note. Like, it was like an acceptable ending, cliffhanger, but enough things were answered, lots more questions were brought up, but it explored the backstory quite well. Book 2, it started off pretty good, and then it just lost its momentum. Like, some characters had some of the coolest character arcs I've seen, and I was kind of rooting for them, and it just kind of like the author just kind of forgot about them, just kind of dropped them off and just said, oh, we're not dealing with this anymore. I thought that was unfortunate. I'm not going to tell you which characters those are in case you do read these books, but it was a little frustrating. And then the worst part was, like, there were so many questions in this book, and then towards the end I'm like, oh, how are you going to tie this up? There's so many things going on. Well, instead of giving you a proper ending with like conclusion and whatnot, the last 100 pages are done like in an epilogue style. Basically, it's like all the conflicts that there were just magically got resolved. I was so disappointed. Like, there was a big build-up. We finally found out who like the supreme evil or bad guy would be, and it just no resolution. It's like they were not there. They just couldn't be found. I was like, what? Why? I thought it was gonna be a huge epic showdown, but no. It was so disappointing. So that was unresolved. Lots of other important questions I felt were unresolved, like the backstory of like Earth and how like it came to be. I thought that was interesting, just kind of forgot about it. Important characters, just kind of forgot about them. Everything felt rushed. There were 900 pages. Why did you try and rush the last important stuff to wrap up everything in the last 100 pages and not even answer all the stuff we actually want? So I don't recommend Olympus or maybe Ilium if you want, because Ilium at least was more interesting, but I feel like it's only a book that's going to really resonate with readers who are familiar perhaps with the Iliad, and seeing those characters come to life in an alternative fictional universe is kind of cool. So with that being said, I feel like I'm going to start reading Red Mars soon. This month is my goal, is to read Red Mars. Much shorter. It's only got under 600 pages. Much shorter by comparison. I tend to look up books that have won notable sci-fi awards, and Red Mars won multiple of those awards. So I hope this is going to be much more exciting. And if it is good, there are a couple of sequels which I'll probably dive into. But with that being said, hopefully you all have a truly fantastic day. I wish you all the best luck in your own pad adventures. Happy New Year and happy puzzling.